What's going on, Internet? The Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, I'd like to welcome you back to the Gaming Illuminati podcast. It's wild to admit that we are episode 76, but we are. So allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which lives in one of two of the craziest places where people come from, the Bronx and Florida. He's Florida's finest, UTX JG the Don. Say what up to the people.
What up, what up, what up? We still surviving out here in crazy ass Florida, but at least we still got good weather.
Yeah. And my second co-host, he didn't even show up, and I forgot to update this damn thing. Fuck it. I was gonna say he's late as usual, but he didn't show up yesterday. We were supposed to record it. Yeah, go ahead, eat those. You turned 25. Let the people know.
I was money. What's up, everybody? Happy 25th. You know, all that good stuff. You know, you can send all your birthday wishes to my PayPal account, paypal.me/gamingethos. I appreciate y'all. Bless up.
In the original script, I said you better contribute at least 50% for being late. It's now 75% now. So we're doing this the next day. Yeah.
All right, fine.
And our guest for today is the host of the SpawnOnMe podcast. So he likes his teammates to be on top of him. He's bald, he's black, he's Khalief. Say what up to the people.
What's good, GI fam? Thank you so much for having me, man. Super excited to be rocking with y'all. Chilling, hanging out in the Bronx, in Florida, in Portland, in DC, and all that good shit.
Yeah. What's where can they catch your podcast? What's your social media and all that?
All the podcast places that you can ever find a podcast: iTunes, Stitcher, Radio Public, all that good stuff. NPR One. You can catch us on Twitter at SpawnOnMe, me at KajaKins, and all that good stuff there.
Cool. We don't have a Patreon backer for today's show, but if you want to support the show, consider supporting us at patreon.com/GI updates. We have all different type of rewards in line for those who choose to financially support us. There will be a link in the description box below if you're viewing the video version at youtube.com/theblack-Hokage. And of course, feel free to take the show on the go. The GI podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all other major platforms. Make sure to download our free app available on iOS and Android. It's totally free. Just search Gaming Illuminati on your respective app store. Just keep in mind that we spell Illuminati with the word naughty or nice. Now, before we get into today's show, I want to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. It's a non-intimidating way for the stock market newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence. It's simple and intuitive, a clear design with data presented in an easy to digest way. You guys know if you come through to my streams at twitch.tv/theblack-Hokage, I've actually been rocking with Robinhood for a while. I've been talking about it. So when they reached out and they wanted to sponsor the show, I thought it was dope because it was it's a product that I already used. What I like about it is, like they said, it's very easy to use, a very simple interface if you don't know much about investing. I also like that they have a little widget that you can put on your phone on the side, so it's easy to keep up with your investments. Just swipe over to wherever you keep your widget. And then also the commission free thing is what really got me into Robinhood, because there's a lot of different investing apps on iOS and Android, but with this, like when you invest in different things, they usually have commission fees. So let's say a stock costs like $5. There's usually a middleman, like a commission fee. So it'll be like $7. It'll be like a $2 commission fee. With this, if a stock is $5, it's $5. So that's why I rock with Robinhood. And it's cool too, because Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. You can sign up at illuminaughty.robinhood.com. That's illuminaughty.robinhood.com. Keep in mind that we spell Illuminati with the word as in naughty or nice. Once again, thank you to Robinhood for sponsoring the show. With all that aside, let's get into the conversations, gentlemen. We're going to open up with some Red Dead Redemption 2. The game dropped since the last podcast. I personally have not gotten a chance to play it because Assassin's Creed Odyssey never ends, but these three knuckleheads have. And since you're the guest, I'm going to give you the floor, Khalief. What's kind of your first impressions, the good, bad, and the ugly on Red Dead Redemption 2?
Red Dead is a beautiful game set in the wonderful wilds of the Old West. It is a gorgeous game to look at. It is wonderful to roll around with. Playing the game is boring as shit. I'm bored out of my mind.
Whoa, hot take. Whoa. I need you to get into specifics then. You're going to have to explain yourself because they're going to cook you in the comments, boy.
I'm with you, Khalief. I'm with you, bro. But go ahead. Take the bullet for me.
It is the slowest burn. It's that conversation that you have usually when it's like, all right, so how long do you have to play a game before you feel like you got either your money's worth, or you feel like you're doing well in that game, or you feel like you're progressing in a way that matters to you? And I'm in chapter 2. I'm not super far in. I'm towards probably like the middle towards the end of chapter 2 still, because it's been such a grind getting to a point where I feel like I care about the characters that I'm meeting, that the story is compelling, that the all the little systems that connect the things together don't feel really cohesive yet. So it feels like I'll roll up into a fight, shoot as many people as I possibly can. The shooting doesn't feel good, even with the setting changes that you usually make. You changing up, kind of the dead center and not dead center, the dead zones of your controllers and all that stuff that people have talked about that makes the game better and all this other stuff. And I'm still finding myself bored as fuck playing this game. And I've finally gotten to a small part of the story that I don't want to spoil. That feels like I'm turning a corner, but it's taken me 15 hours to get there. And that's because I'm not just going through and touching the main part of the story first. I've been doing side quests and some of that other stuff. But then I figured I was like, yo, these things aren't fun either. So why am I going to do these? I might as well try to bum rush through the main story to just finish the game at this point. So now it's just so many systems that are implemented in there that don't feel super cohesive. They feel like they're okay, but it's also like the Wild West to me is kind of a boring setting. It's not something I'm finding really compelling.
Were you a fan of the original Red Dead? Well, not the original.
I love the original.
The second one. Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. It was a fantastic game. I thought it started off really strongly. That was the thing. It was like that game started off strong. You didn't have to kind of go through all these like small steps to kind of get your crew together and get the story to kind of like propel you forward. And this game is such a slow burn off the bat that it's hard to kind of keep my patience with it right now.
Yeah, that's something I'm seeing a lot in my Twitch chat. A lot of people are saying like those first few chapters, like it really holds your hand and it's really slow. And it kind of goes back to what you said, like how much do I have to play before it gets fun? Like, cause I subscribe to I like when a game starts off with a nice little set piece and then it can like slow down and start introducing other things, but like show me the potential of what it could be. Don't just start off like super slow. So I can understand what you're coming from. What about you, Jay? What you think about the game?
I would have to pretty much agree with Khalief. I want to say that it's a lot of things to do in the game, definitely, but I didn't find myself being compelled to do the other side quests. So like when Ethos was talking about, and he'll talk about himself, that like he just kind of ran through the game. I understand why, because I was like, why? How the hell did you beat the game already? But I kind of understand. Like, I probably will go back and do something like some side quests and like go hunt legendary animals a little bit later just to upgrade some things. But you really don't need to. And I didn't feel like I really wanted to go and do some of these side quests and go and hunt the animals and stuff. Like, kind of just wanted to run through the main mission. And that being said, because when Khalief mentioned that the first couple of chapters they don't really engage you, he's right. And even the first time that I got in my first gunfight, I was like, am I just ass on console again? Like, because I've been playing PC for so long, for so many years, I'm like, am I just ass shooting on console? But I think maybe just the shooting mechanics just aren't as good as the revolutionary shooting mechanics that they had whenever they revealed the first Red Dead back in 2010. They ended up being also implemented into the latest Grand Theft Auto. I just feel like they made it a little bit too real, and that may be a gift and a curse. I think this game is just a little bit too real. Like, even when you're like looting people, you gotta like turn the person around, turn the body around in order to actually loot them. It takes too long. Some other things that are kind of like unnecessary, in my opinion, are like, you have to make sure that you keep your core correct. You got to make sure that you eat. You got to make sure that you interact with your pet and not your pet, your horse, and feed your horse and stuff. And you have to interact with other people. And it just, I feel like it kind of gets a little bit too much. I feel like, what are you about to say?
Are you serious? I have to like interact with my horse?
Yes, you have to interact with your horse in order to upgrade them, and it's with every horse too. Like, say if you get a new horse, you gotta start over, and you have to.
I'm glad Odyssey taking forever. This don't sound very fun.
Yeah, so like going from Assassin's Creed when like you're just riding on your horse and like it's fast or whatever, like you kind of have to build your horse up, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just a whole bunch of little like mini games, as I call them. It's a whole bunch of like mini things that you have to make sure that you maintain. Otherwise, your dude is gonna, he's gonna be weak, he's gonna be slow, he's not gonna have his core at the fullest, he's not gonna have his dead eye at the fullest potential. So it's just little things like that kind of makes it a little bit unenjoyable for me. But I think that the main thing, besides the story starting off slow, because like when you rob your first train, it's fun. When you rob your first bank, it's fun. Like when you're doing those things with the crew, that's fun. You end up getting into it with some of the characters that you end up meeting like at the beginning and a little bit later on. That they're cool. There are some characters that I can really bond with, but again, it just takes a little bit too long to get to those points. But I think really the main thing that kind of just pisses me off is the shooting mechanics. Like, I was playing it on stream the whole time, and they were like, man, you ass. I'm like, bro, like, it's not. I was trying to change the settings, and like I tweaked it a little bit, but it's still very, very rough around the edges. And again, I don't know if just because I'm on console and trying to play it, but I think that they just did something. They just changed the mechanics, and it just doesn't feel as good to me. I'm not getting that same feeling that I got when I played Red Dead back in 2010. I'm just not. And I wish that I was, because I was so excited to play it after we got back from TwitchCon. I was like, man, I'm missing on a Red Dead, bro. Like, I could have been at home. I could have not even went here. But when I got home and actually played it, I was like, am I tripping? Like, I had to ask my chat, I'm like, am I tripping? Or are these things, like these little things that I'm kind of nitpicking at, or are they valid? And some of the people were like, yeah, they're like, I kind of like just ran out of things to do. So that's just kind of how I feel about Red Dead. I'm gonna beat it. Obviously, it's picking up for me because I'm on chapter 5 finally, and I need to figure out like how Dutch ended up being the way that he was, and I'm definitely seeing a lot of it now. But it definitely started off very, very slow. And like, if this is your first Red Dead, if you didn't even play the quote unquote second one, but if you didn't even play that one, you're gonna be like mad confusing. You might not even want to continue playing it, to be honest.
Horse self-esteem mechanics, boy. Innovation. I done heard it all, boy. It, from what y'all are describing, it kind of sounds like, it reminds me of a video Ethos made like a couple of years ago where he was talking about the difference between realism and authenticity. Like, people don't understand that they want their games to be authentic, not realistic. And authentic meaning that, like, you want it to feel like it's real, but it's still a video game, versus like a game like Arma 3 where that's just straight realistic. Like, that's only going to be fun to very specific people. And it sounds like Red Dead is teetering on that. It's a little too realistic versus authentic. What do you think, Ethos?
I agree with everybody, what they're saying. I think my biggest issue with Red Dead was that they have kind of killed a little bit of the fun aspect of like game design and just having fun in a game for just making this hyper realistic, like immersive game. So when it comes to immersion, like the game is by far like one of the most immersive games you probably can play. Like, it's up there with like with like I'd say like with Battlefield, like feeling like you're on a battlefield and all this other crazy stuff. Like, it is definitely top tier from that aspect. But I know, like, right now, unfortunately, there's like a huge amount of hype for Rockstar games, and a lot of times people put them above reproach that like there's no way you can criticize their games. But I really feel like when the hype really dies down for this game, I'm pretty sure it's going to win a lot of Game of the Year awards because it's still hyped right now. But when it dies down and people start to really like look at the game, they're going to realize that maybe it wasn't that good. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how many of you agree, but I think this might be one of the least. I don't know how to describe it. I would say it's not one of the best Rockstar games in their library. Like, already I can name at least 4 or 5 of their Rockstars, like, or franchise wise, like that are better than than Red Dead 2. And it's crazy because like everybody's acting like this game is like a masterpiece in perfection. But I agree with everyone saying like the controls are booty. I think a dev from EA Motive, they're the guys who did Battlefront. He did an analysis video of testing the input lag of the game. And for some reason, Red Dead has an abnormally large amount of input, like almost 3 to 4 times the amount of input lag that you have compared to any other third-person game. So he tested like Destiny 2, like he tested like a couple of other third-person like shooter type games, or that have aspects so like you can go into third person. And like in all those tests, he realized like Bungie's was like really, really responsive. And then like it would like, you know, you would say it would be like maybe like 1 or 1.2 or something like that. And then like Red Dead's is like 4.3 or something like that. So there's a lot. Yeah, I got to find the video. I'd post it if I can find. I'll find it. It was on my Twitter and I saved the video. But it was very insightful because it gives you a hint that like there is something fundamentally wrong with like how they did this on purpose, or maybe it was something technical that they just didn't realize was a problem, and maybe they'll be able to patch it. But that's why the game feels so like non-responsive at like moments, like you're trying to make your character do something. And I think that's always been Rockstar. Like they just throw so many animations inside of their game's animation system that a lot of times the animation system like can't like trigger like all of them. And since there's barely any animation canceling in the game, it forces you to play through these animation, you know, sequences before you can play the next one and then the next one. So I don't know if you guys felt it, but I noticed as well when you're shooting like one of the Lancaster Lancaster guns, If you press the trigger button in between like the cockback or something like that, like it'll force your gun to shoot again, even though you can't shoot there. It's like it's pre taking your inputs before it can actually happen on the screen, and then like saving them and then making them play out like in a delayed fashion before, like, even if you like don't want to do that. So like you'll waste bullets on accident when you didn't mean to shoot. So yeah, just stuff like that. I feel like it's a great game. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's immersive. But the problem, there's that, and also the pacing of the game sucks. Like the beginning half of the game, so slow. The snow level was so boring. I fell asleep 2 times trying to go through the prologue of the game. Like legitimately, I go down twice trying to get through that. And then the only time it picks up is for the people who've played it, I'll just say roads, and the 2 families. That's when stuff starts to like really pick up. And then there's like a bank robbery. That's when stuff picks up. And then after that, it just dives again. So like that's like the highlight, the best part of the game, in my opinion. And then it just nosedives like near the end, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's it. So I think like story wise, like this, I wouldn't even say like Red Dead has the best story this year, like by far. Like I can name at least maybe like 2 or 3 games that had better stories. Like I'd say God of War has 10 times a better story than Red Dead's story.
Yeah.
Gameplay is just like all right, but again, the controls are kind of meh. And honestly, like if there's the only aspect of this game that's like just incredible is just the detail of the world. Like that's about it. That's the only thing I would say is like, wow, holy crap. But other than that, I mean, at the end of the day, like we're playing games here, and and I want to have fun and stuff like that. And I'd be honest, it felt like most of the time me playing it was just me slogging through it, just trying to beat it. And I didn't really feel like at a lot of times, like it just got very repetitive. It was always the same mission structure. It was always like, go here, talk to this person. Oh, shoot out, blah, 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 blah. Shoot a bunch of random people coming at you, and then run away, or like go to this new location, and then cutscene. That's it. And it's like, that's it. So character wise, I people said they like Arthur. I don't like Arthur as a character. I feel like he is he's a boring character who has no personal motivation whatsoever, and he just basically has all the other characters around him make him do stuff, and he doesn't have his own sort of like personality or character. He just seems like a very just bland, like just a bland white cowboy dude who just doesn't know what he's doing with his life. And I know there's like context and some other stuff that you can do, but that's like pretty much it. And so,
Ethos, are you trying to insinuate that there might be some truth to those rumors about Rockstar employees being overworked, and it's starting to show in their games?
I'm gonna let Khalief talk about it. Khalief, me and Khalief, I had a conversation with Khalief on Twitter, and I didn't know what, like, we were trying to figure that out, like how do we even. This isn't even factoring in the 100-hour work hours statement, and like one side saying, oh no, they're referring to like 4 upper people who chose this for like the last 3 weeks. That's the argument now. And then beforehand, then it's like the whole argument where there's like people who I've seen legitimately on Twitter who literally tell me on Twitter, like I've seen devs on Twitter who are like, I worked for Rockstar during GTA 5 and they had us crunching like hell. And same thing with Red Dead, like, and then then the Rockstar's like, oh, go ahead, you can say what you feel about the company, right? You can tell people the truth, but come on, there's obviously like you can feel like, okay, can we really take everybody's word for it if the company's like, yeah, go ahead, tell me, like, is anybody really going to speak up to the people that are employing you right now and say, yeah, these guys are horrible? Like, no, you're probably not. No one in their right mind would do that.
Yeah, because it could fuck up future employment, because they might look at you like a snitch or some shit like that.
Yeah, they might look at you snitch. You might never get a promotion. They might low key like try to like low key like make your conditions so bad that you want to leave the company. Like, there's a bunch of things. Like, we could look at Riot Games. This is not like uncommon of like what they're doing, and it's wrong. But I think the thing that me and Khalief were trying to figure out is like, well, what do we do in situations like this? Like, do we boycott it? Because then like there's issues with that, because if you boycott the game, it's like, well, you're making all those people who put in like hours of their hard work into a game just like throw it away because like you don't want because of that. But on the other hand, it's like you're giving the company that's like basically screwing over their employees like crap tons of money, and then are they even going to get that money, right? Or are they even going to get like big bonuses for all the hard work they put into Red Dead? We don't even know that. So like it's just, everything's just fucked up. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think it's actually kind of interesting to because like there's a lot of games when I think about it, like I liked them in that moment, but then like 2 years later I think about it, I was like, I didn't really like that game that much. Like, it'll be interesting to see where Red Dead where it's at when the dust settles, like a couple years from, because not even a year, I think you got to give it like a couple years for people really to have retrospective.
I'm gonna be 100. I really personally, after I beat it, I've thought about all the other games I played from Rockstar. I think Bully is vastly superior to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's on my bucket list. I want to play that by the end of next year.
Please play that. Yeah, play
Bully
that.
is definitely play Bully. Bully, in my opinion, is one of the most unique Rockstar games they've ever made. And I'm praying to God that's the next game they're working on, because it's been years, been so long. They remastered it on PC, so you can pick it up on PC. But Bullied outdoes like Red Dead, and like it is just the perfect fun game that Rockstar ever made. And the story is like phenomenal. The characters are so memorable. The setting is incredible. The combat is just there's so much diverse stuff you can do in that game compared to like what you do at Rockstar. I feel like Rockstar is like the ultimate like, we're trying to make a movie out here type of like Hollywood type of game, and Bully is like the ultimate.
I don't know. I think that's Naughty Dog.
Well, I say Rockstar and Naughty Dog both follow this. Like they were trying to make a movie out here, like, and I feel like that's what Rockstar's been pushing for a long time. And I hope they go back to more like how they did Bully, where it's more like, fun game design. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I'm gonna get slandered in the comments, but it's
like even on.
I'm with you though, because I feel like they need to make a tighter, smaller effort, where you can pack in more dense stuff into it. Because right now, it's the problem that most open world games have, where it's like you have all this space that is filled with lots of nothingness until you roll up on that, until you roll up in those
encounters or something,
random encounters and things like that, where even those random encounters don't feel like they're making, again, Arthur feel more compelling as a character that you care about. And that's the thing, is like when you have a game this big and this long, it's like, how are you going to figure out how to space out all those really smart moments that maybe
maybe
you haven't figured that out at all.
Yeah, like maybe it's the side quest stuff. Like maybe it is like, because I did play some of the Mary missions, like with his ex, and I was like, okay, maybe this is like showing his previous side of him, but it's just pointing at like things that they did in the past, and the whole like, oh, I'm gonna change you, Arthur, and she never could change him, so she leaves him, and all that sort of stuff. And like him trying to like, I guess because the whole point of the game is redemption. I get it. Everybody's been trying to say this point, oh, the story's actually deep because it's about redemption. There's nothing deep about it. Like the dude just goes on a whole thing because basically he's been walking around the entire time. He has no motivation as a character. He has barely any depth to him. And then all of a sudden, near the end of the game, he finally has.
Whoa! Wait,
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it.
What are you doing?
I'm saying near the end of the game. I'm not spoiling. If you play the first
that was a dope lead up though. Either way.
Also, if you play the first game, you already know what's going to happen. Like
he didn't play it. He didn't play it, so
okay. But
once I found out it was a prequel, I was like, I'm not playing the first game. I'm playing it in order.
I did not play the first game fully, but to JG's point, but I still understood everything that was going on because I had context of the first game a little bit, but I never played through the first game fully. Kind of because I just wasn't interested at that time about playing a cowboy. But yeah.
Fucking,
I'm not going to go further than
like
that.
Even
I would bring up one more point. I would say that Arthur kind of feels like an NPC. Like he kind of just feels like somebody who I don't really care about.
Stop
like
the slander. NPC lives matter.
I don't know, man. I cared more about Dutch. Like Dutch ended up. I wish that you could play Dutch. Like I think that would have been 10 times better.
I agree. Like all the other characters, like in your camp, are way more interesting of characters than
like
Arthur.
Lenny, Charles. I would like playing with Charles.
Yeah. Marston was way more interesting. Like
I mean, but they're obviously not going to have you play with John again in this one. But yeah, he definitely was. We understand why now.
Yeah.
Just thinking off the top of my head, even like in the last 5 years, like the only games I could think of that like I genuinely loved, like in retrospect, is like Bayonetta 2. Like that's one of the few games like I wanted to go back and I want to play it on hard. Like, I don't know, The Witcher, fucking Origins. There's like a few games, but like to hear that Red Dead is like you're saying in retrospect.
Red Dead's not that.
You're thinking it's not gonna. That kind of scares me because I played the original Red Dead. I don't know if I told you this. I did play the original Dead. I just didn't beat it because I fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
I fell asleep playing. It's one of the few games I ever played where I fell asleep with a controller in my hand, and I was like, yeah, I'm not playing this again. But then I was like,
the online's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I was hoping the online would be dope for Red Dead too.
Yeah, because I'm maybe more excited for the multiplayer than I am about after I played the campaign, because I have no inkling to want to go back. I have not touched Red Dead since I beat it. I have no reason to go back and play it.
What y'all are saying is scaring me, but I'm gonna still try to give it a shot and see what I think. And then if I like it, I'll go back and
rent that.
I already bought it. I had already pre-ordered. It's on my desk in the wrapper, so
yikes!
It is what it is. Fun. Yeah. So don't go too hard on us in the comment section about their opinions.
I'll take
it because I'm just like I will definitely throw down.
What?
Like,
it's the pinnacle of gaming.
This is why this game is not dope, and this is why you should not spend your money on it.
Where we talked smack about Uncharted and how much we got attacked for months for that.
Yeah.
Same.
It is what it is. Speaking of falling asleep, let's talk about Fall Asleep 76. AKA Fallout 76, the new RPG, online RPG from Bethesda. I have not played this game either because once again, Odyssey never ends. But I think the coverage on it has been very interesting. I've seen mostly negative stuff. I've seen so many compilation videos of just the servers don't work. There's crazy glitches. I watched a video earlier today, and apparently, I'm not going to say they did it, but it looks like it because they put it side by side. They copy and pasted the dragons from Skyrim over to Fallout 76. Like the animations were the same. The only thing that looked different is like the dragon looked like slightly different, but the animations, the way it fought was exactly the same. So like they're being accused of straight up just copying and pasting the game over. It's being called Refund 76, Farce, all these freaking nicknames. Khalief, you got to play it, right?
Yeah, I've been playing it. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it?
It's weird. It's a weird ass game. It feels like one of those things that somebody put in a meeting and was like, "Yo, we should do this." But it was on a holiday when like all the like main cats weren't around, and they just like figured out a way to put some code together and threw that shit out in the world. It doesn't feel good. It's a weird game it shouldn't exist. And that's weird because I'm having some fun with it, but I'm also like trying to figure out again, when is it going to get to a point where I feel like my money was worth it, and I feel like I'm going to get to this aha moment that like made me feel like I did what I was supposed to do when I played this game. The interesting part about it so far, two things that are my biggest takeaways are, I thought playing with other people would make it more fun, and it doesn't. Two, because that was the one thing. I played it at first by myself, and I was like, all right, cool. So this is a way I can kind of like ground myself in the world, figure out what's going to happen, and try to move from there. And I was like, all right, this is kind of boring, because it is a game that doesn't really have a narrative structure in the same way that you would usually think of. So let me think if this is going to be different if I play this with other people, and then, you know, that camaraderie of kind of going through the world and finding stuff and then finding out about the world that way would be better. And it didn't feel that way because it just felt more cluttered with more people around you doing stuff that you didn't want them to do in the moment. So that was a weird revelation about that. Two, the best part about the Fallout games, at least in my opinion, of the most recent ones, besides 4, because 4 was terrible, was VATS. VATS was like the best part of the new Fallout games. And that is awful now because you can't freeze time and do what you wanted to do in the old version of VATS. You have to basically like move closer up to your target, which is the whole reason that you don't want to use VATS, because then you would just shoot them with the normal kind of gameplay or the gunplay, and you can't really use VATS in a reasonable way. It doesn't work well. The one good thing I have found about the game, though, is that if you do pay attention and you are a fan of lore, the kind of fundamental base game that they're trying to give you in terms of story is actually pretty interesting. The problem is the rest of the stuff that's around it is either really buggy, doesn't work well, or is problematic because of just the systems that are in the base Fallout game, which again, everyone who's talking about like, yo, Bethesda kind of like dropped the ball and isn't really trying anymore. I don't know how folks can get excited about the next games that they're supposed to be coming out with this being what they just gave out to people. Like, I feel like they disrespected the community super hard with this game and kind of played a lot of people, myself included, by buying this game because we are fans of Bethesda and fans of the potential lore that they have. So I'm super disappointed in this game so far. It's cool in some aspects, but the foundation of it is just so broken and doesn't work well.
I played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. So I would consider myself a Fallout fan, not like a super fan, but a Fallout fan. Although someone in my comment section said that I wasn't because I didn't play New Vegas, but whatever, neckbeard.
You need to play.
I didn't either, but it's good.
I don't have time to play every fucking game. Like, Jesus Christ.
When you're bored in the summer, go download it. You'll love it.
True, I might put it on the backlog.
If it doesn't, if it at least loads up on your computer.
But I had 76 pre-ordered, and then they came out with that beta, which by the way wasn't a beta. That was a demo because it came out a week before the game came out. That's not a beta. You can't make any real changes to the game in a week. I seen Ethos stream that, and I was watching that joint. I never got up so many times during a stream to go to let me go force a pee out, bro. Like, this shit is boring, bro. This man was just walking around collecting audio logs and notes and shit. And if you've ever seen me stream a single player game, if your game got notes in it, I ain't reading that shit. I'm barely gonna listen to the fucking audio logs. I did not know there were no NPCs in the game, because I guess during the E3 coverage, during E3 we were like busy, so we weren't really paying that much attention to Bethesda, so I didn't know. I mean, I guess that's my ignorance, but once I found out there was no NPCs and it was just straight audio logs and notes and shit, I was like, this is boring. And then the VAT, it's like, what? It looks like a 2014 early access survival game, Steam early access survival game. It looks like they took Fallout 4 and just regurgitated assets, took out all the story, took out all the cool factions, and just, it was like, all right, well, play with your friends and find something to do. We'll give you some audio logs. I'm like, I don't even know if I would get this on a Steam sale. Freaking, I mean, to be honest, I could get the game for free, which is the funny thing, because we got the Bethesda Connect, and I was like, I don't even know if I want a code. I was like, what about you, Ethos? I know you played it a little bit.
No, bro, it's a no from me, dog. I agree with everything Khalief said. This is the destiny of the Fallout franchise.
What does that mean?
As in, it's literally the same issues Destiny 1 has in Fallout form. Game comes out, there's nonsensical story. The worst, I think the biggest insult is that literally they retconned their own Fallout lore in order to figure a way that this game could exist in the universe. Like, I'm almost positive. I have to check. There's like some people I was talking to who are also like big Fallout fans, and they know the lore way better than I do. I don't dig that deep into the lore, at least of Fallout, but I find it somewhat interesting. And the setting interesting. That's why I play it. But they were telling me how, like, basically, like, that they had to like back away a lot of stuff, like how like super mutants and other stuff, because they had already previously stated that certain like aspects like super mutants and stuff could only exist at a certain like point in the timeline due to like the radiation and so forth.
Yeah,
but they had to put them in Fallout 76. So by putting them in Fallout 76, they had to basically retcon what Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and like other Fallouts had previously said, so that it could fit in 76. So it's like, oh dear God, what? So you're willing that far to like break your own like universe's lore so that you could sell this game, and the game is nonsensical. The whole like thing that there's nothing that drives you in the game, because it's literally like get out of the vault and reclaim.
Like, can you beat the game?
I don't think so.
I don't know. There's like, maybe you could get all the quests done, but the whole end game, I haven't seen any of the end game. I have to watch it, but the whole end game's like, oh, you got to get nukes. Okay, and what do you do with these nukes? Well, you nuke like big areas of the map so you can get better loot. Okay, but what's the point? Like, is it just to get power then? I'm just getting like all this mega awesome like guns and loot because I'm using nukes on other people and places on the map. And then like, what happens after the end of that? Like, there's no actual like ending to it. It's just like the same thing like Destiny. You just keep looting, you keep repeating the same cycle over and over again every day, every week, until you get more power, until you're like maxed out. So, and then the worst, oh my God, they put RNG in the skills. Why would they do that?
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
I actually like the skills. I actually like what they've done with the special system though.
They made it where it's like a card system, right? That's basically it, right? Yeah. So remember how back then, like, it'd be a skill tree and you put your points in it, right? There's none of that now. All it is you level up, you get this, like, you get a loot box, and then you open it up, and then it gives you like 4 different random cards and a rare. And then like based off of that, like you place it in like one of the like how
so it's Paragon
represents.
No, well,
because kind of, but I don't.
It's his face giggling his ass off when he said that Paragon shit.
Kind of like Paragon, but it's not. Like, the system's kind of like Paragon's card system, but it's not at the same time. Like, it's hard to explain.
The way that they do it, the reason I like it actually is because the one thing that you usually find is pain in the ass in most Fallout games is trying to figure out how you want to spec out your character, and then wind up trying to figure out how you want to respec your character later on in the game, because you've either power leveled your way up or you've gotten to a space where, the mutants or things you're fighting are just too low level, and you're so, well, like, I'm super like powered out and there's nothing I can do at this point. Now with the card system, you can swap out stuff based on the situation that you're in, which I find to be really interesting. So like one thing happened where I got a couple of cards where I was needing to unlock some doors. and I couldn't hack anything because I didn't have any hacking skills yet. So I had a card that was just like in a random pack that I found. It got me up to the level that I needed to hack that door. I was able to get in there, get some power armor, and then move on throughout the rest of what I was doing. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without getting those specific cards. Before, you'd be able to level up and then just throw a point in there and just automatically have it. Now, if I'm in a space where I'm either playing with teammates or I'm not doing anything, where I'm kind of in spaces where I need to do that skill, and I have something else that I may need that's like either health, or I need the ability to carry more stuff because I got something really good, then I can swap that thing out, put in another card, and then I'm ready to do what I needed to do. I like that version of the way they spec'd out the systems. Again, I don't know if those things really play out in ways that are really compelling in the game yet. Because I haven't seen anything necessarily that I've been like, oh shit, this is the thing I have to fight and I can't fight it yet. Or it's one of those things where like either I will just run away from a thing that I can't fight yet because I'm not going to take that L and get shot up or get killed by this thing and then have to lose whatever loot that I had. It just feels like those things are there. They're smart. They're well done. They just don't have anything to lay on. It's a weird sandwich that has no meat. It's super weird.
When you die, you don't drop anything important. You just drop a bunch of like junk and equipment and supplies and stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, like there's some interesting systems. There's interesting systems. It's just not put well together with.
I feel like
there are no factions.
They had an idea. It's like they had an idea. I guarantee this is what happened. Fallout 4 came out and people were all like, "Yo, if Fallout 4 had co-op, that'd be fire." So then Bethesda behind the scenes was like, Todd Howard was like, in his infinite wisdom, he was like, yo, y'all, what if we actually do that while we're working on Starfield? And they're like, wait, what? It's like, what if we actually make a multiplayer like Fallout 4? And so I guess maybe they thought they could like mod it into the game and it didn't work. So it's like, okay, let's make it a separate game, or maybe higher ups were like, let's turn it into a game so we can make money off of it. So they started to, they had a great concept, like high level, like, okay, we can make like a survival game and this and then like that. And we can make it multiplayer, like maybe like a DayZ type game or something. Like it'd be really cool. So then they start to build the game more and more. And then I guess what you're talking about, like the parts that like put all the cogs and the mechanics that, you know, make them work together, they couldn't visualize what that would look like. So that's why it looks like it's a bunch of like separated systems that don't really like synergize with each other. They just look like they just do separate things. Like the survival system is basically a joke. It's just like, oh, eat and drink. That's it. That's all there is. That is the most light type of survival mechanics, like that you just minimally need. It's like they could have gone like really crazy. They could have gone a little bit, you know, deeper. I think a good comparison is like compare this game to like what's that game? What's that PC game? Escape from Tarkov, I think it was.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah, if you compare those two games, it's like I feel like Fallout wanted to be like Escape from Tarkov, a little less like realistic, but like they just couldn't make it work, or they were just like, we just don't have the time and resources to build a game that complex, and they were just like, okay, we'll just do like this high level, you know, generic type of Fallout that like, you know, we can get new people into it because it's like, you know, we'll dub it a survival game and multiplayer game, and you know, our Fallout fans will obviously buy it because it's got the name Fallout in it. That's probably what happened.
Quick question for the room, though. With this not really, you know, kind of reading the room and doing as well as they thought that this game might have done, do you think people will be excited for the next Bethesda game? Or will they still put their money down for it?
I'm going to be cautious.
I mean, people are going to be cautious, but I'm almost positive it doesn't matter because people will say one thing, but then they'll still buy it.
It's really time for them to let that engine go. Like, is Starfield's running on the same engine, or is that being built from the ground up? Because, like, Fallout 76 just looks buggy as hell.
We don't know.
I did an argument on stream about this because I was dealing with somebody sent me a certain YouTuber. I'm not going to say no names, but, you know, one of those reactionary channels who basically was saying like Bethesda's engine is trash and they need to change it. And then I think it was Kotaku, Jason Schreier. He did a video about like how basically a lot of people misunderstand how an engine functions and how it works. But in the article, what you were saying, which is true, is like, basically the way it works is like the core framework is technically like similar to like what Fallout 76 runs on and stuff like that, but like they're pushing in brand new like think of it like the brain, if you will, is very similar in a way, the framework, and then like its nervous system has changed and been different. So like they have like an updated animation system, new lighting system, new render, like stuff like that. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it comes out and it still has the same issues that like the other games have had, but like maybe they're able to fix the game more. I don't know. I think it's really just a development issue. I think they just Bethesda does not have the time or resources to what is it called, to
probably QA their stuff.
Yeah.
Is this a live service too? Like, did they put out a roadmap? Like,
they haven't put it
not yet.
But
Not
they
yet.
definitely make it a live service.
Because I think it'll be interesting to see where this game is a year from now. Like, are people going to put up with this, or is it going to fall off the face of the earth, or is it going to have like a comeback like The Division, like the greatest comeback ever, like Division or something like that? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's one of those games that lends itself to having that kind of comeback, though, right? Because the fundamental things that you want that game to be revolve around having a really important or fun story to kind of dig through. And they did a small dev diary some months back that kind of forecasted some of the stuff that they were trying to do. Like, they have the live event everyone has to be in a specific area to kind of get credit for a specific mission that everyone can do. Like, those things are really interesting, but they don't feel like, one, they're not fun. It's not like instances when you go into like a usual MMO and you're like, all right, so we're gonna go raid this dungeon, we're gonna go do this thing because it's like time based or whatever. The things in those spaces just don't feel good enough for you to care about it. And when you get rewards for it, it's for junk. You literally get junk that you use to build other shit that is marginally better than the shit that you already had. So it's like, let me get all this stuff to build this one gun that has like 2 stat perks that are a little bit better than what I already had, to fight monsters that are terrible and don't let me aim at them because the VAT system is bad and the guns are bad and the way that you shoot is bad. So it's like, you have all these things that like add up to all these bad systems that touch each other that no one has figured out what they actually want them to do. It's weird. It's a very weird game to be in the space right now.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. Jay, you've been mad quiet. Any opinions on Fallout, sir?
I mean, I've never played any Fallout, so I really didn't have anything to say there. But I did watch the compilations of the vast amounts of glitches for Fallout 76, and I think it's gonna be a no. Like, I've seen some very, very bad things. I didn't even want to try to get into the aspects of it. I didn't really even want to watch anybody play it after watching these compilations. I just think that they had the exact same issues, the exact same bugs and glitches that they had in the previous Fallouts. And I mean, I agree with you all. Like, why haven't they tried to address this yet? I remember when Ethos made the video and got so many people upset at his opinions on Fallout 4, and it doesn't look like they made any progress with it.
Oh, that was great. You remember that?
That was great times. Yeah, that was a very great time for you.
That was crazy.
Yeah, they still didn't make any progress from it. And you all are right. Like, they need to fix the engine and they need to fix the glitches and the bugs. And it looks even worse than Fallout 4 to me from what I've seen.
Yeah, it does.
And this wasn't even just the beta or, technically a demo footage. Like, that was live. This was retail footage. So what are you all playing here? Can anyone really with a straight face say that this is a good game right now? I don't think so, and I ain't even have to play it.
Yeah, I seen in one of the compilations, one dude, he looked down on the ground, and if you look down on the ground, it makes you run faster, like increases the frame rate or some shit like that, and like it turned him into the Flash, and I'm like, and it did it anytime he looked down. I'm like, when I seen that, I was like, to be honest, that just looks like laziness to me. Like, there's no way you were in the studio making that and said, yeah, this shit is fire right here. Like, you have to have seen that type of stuff.
Fam, I was watching somebody stream earlier today, and one of the biggest aspects that they have touted about this game is the fact that you can build your base, take your base wherever you want, you plant it down and do what you want.
I don't want to build shit. I want to blow dragons up. Like, I know.
Well, I mean, you got the Skyrim dragons right in the same game. So
yeah, you're right.
But the crazy thing was, like, dude couldn't take his base with him. It bugged out so much that the game with a major mechanic didn't work. Like, it's one of the things that's like a thing on the back.
Features. How are your features of the game broken? What the hell?
A feature that literally didn't work. Then they were like, yo, there's supposed to be a patch that comes out tomorrow as of this recording. But it's like, yo, how does that major thing not make it through QA and people just can't do that fundamental thing? That's nuts.
How do you get on stage and just pretend like this is the greatest shit ever, bro? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is going to be one of those times, like, I got to vote with my wallet. I hope more people do, because this is inexcusable, the things that I've seen. But hey, maybe they'll patch it, and 2 years from now, it'll be playable.
Man, let's talk about gamers.
You said what, Ethos?
Can we talk about games that are good?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's talk about Battlefield 5. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this game. This is one game that I did play. I had no expectations on it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my L, apologize with all the pre-orders are down jokes we was making in the past podcast. To be honest, I only played it because I got it for free. Shout out to EA, but I'm glad I gave it a chance. The game, it just feels right. Like it hits that right stride.
It feels why.
It just feels American, you know. Like it hits that right stride between realism, but it's not too real. It still feels arcadey enough. There's always tons of action, the teamwork, the map design. I remember that was one thing I was saying to Ethos. There's like not one map that I did not like that I've played so far. And keep in mind, I only have like maybe like 4 or 5 hours on the game, but like everything that I'm playing, that I'm enjoying the hell out of this game so far. I haven't played the story, but the multiplayer is really good. Like I said, the gunplay's fine. What about you, Ethos?
I agree with everything. I went into it. I played the beta. The beta was horrible. Oh my gosh. I had no inkling to want to play this game after playing the beta. And then EA hit me up, was like, yo, you want to try Battlefield? I was like, I'll give it a shot. I was kind of like how I felt about Fallout 76. I was like, I mean, it's free, but I don't know, man. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then I'm not even lying. Like, I streamed my first time playing it. So you guys can go back and actually look at my stream to see like my genuine first reaction to it. It took 10 minutes of me playing the game to know, like, I liked it. It feels, that's how I describe, like, it feels like the movement speed and like time to kill that BF3 had. So if you loved BF3 like I did, you will love it. Like, this game's time to kill is near perfection. It is like one of the best time to kills that I've ever felt for like a Battlefield game. Compared to like BF1, felt like the time to kill was ridiculous and that whole like RNG shooting. This game is just way more refined. Some people will say, well, does this look like is this just Battlefield like 1.5 or something like that? I would say in some aspects maybe, but I would say in most aspects, like, you have to pay attention to this. This is another game similar to Red Dead where it's like the detail in this game is wild. Like, I thought BF1
one of the best looking games. I can't even stream
graphically, graphically, this game is crazy. And then me and TBH were talking about it. We were playing it too. When you do grand operations, like, you legitimately feel like a war. Like, they have you like in big planes, and you're jumping out of a plane, and you're trying not to get shot out of the sky.
Then you gotta run up the hill and stuff.
You run up a hill, and like people are like shooting down at you, and like you get mud up all in your face. You see like literally your teammates get flown back. Like, the animation system's incredible. Like, your teammates can throw you stuff and you can grab it, kind of like how it was like in BioShock. You could pick your teammates up. The squad play is god tier.
So for the people that are like feeling skeptical, because like I didn't play in the alphas or the betas. This is literally my first time playing it when the game came out. Like, what did they change that made you like the game because you didn't like it?
The time to kill, the like, you could shoot a whole clip into somebody in the beta, and they could run away from you, and you'd be pissed. Like, in this game, like, you hit somebody, you felt it. You shoot at somebody, and they just boom, they die.
Yeah,
if you have first shot on somebody, they die. There's barely any way that someone can like run away from you really fast unless like they're really good at the movement system. And it's just like the movement feels. I to compare it, I hate to say this, it feels like when people say Call of Duty feels tight, like its controls feel tight. This is like one of the few Battlefield games that like the controls.
That's what I mean when I say
tight.
It just feels right. Like, you could tell they put love into it. Like, I remember,
you have to feel the game to understand what we're trying to say. Like, you can hear us say that and you'll be like, I don't know, it doesn't look like that. But if you play it, you just feel like the first 10 minutes, you just know, you're just like, oh yeah.
When me and Ethos were running it, like, I even said, I was like, oh my god, I think I like this game. Like, I was like, oh god, I gotta say it on the podcast now, bro. Like, and so like it's a pleasant surprise. It's definitely a pleasant.
It's not perfect. Like, the big thing is, and I agree, is like some people will say, well, I will say the progression system is 100 times better than BF1's. BF1's was trash, and all these weapon variants were all basically the same gun, just with small little stat changes. Each gun in this game feels different, but there is not like a huge list of guns that maybe like BF3 had or BF4 had, but it's definitely more than BF1's. And so some people might be a little bit, I guess I'd understand if people wanted to wait to buy this game, because I would agree that like, you only get like 3 single player story campaigns. I haven't played them yet, so I don't know how long they are, but it wouldn't surprise me if like you could beat the campaign in 3 hours. It would not at all. It seems like this game is, the best I described it, is like the foundation for this game. Unlike, it's the opposite of Fallout 76. Both of the games have this sort of like, well, you know, what's going to happen in the future, but like, Battlefield 5 is in a way better spot when it comes to like the foundation. Like DICE has built probably one of the best foundations for like their shooter in a very long time. And if they can do this with Tides of War correctly, where like it's like literally going through like the whole like the years of World War II, I think that's dope as shit. And they're going to be adding weapons and stuff based off like when they're introduced into the war. So you see the world evolve as you like play the game weeks and months after, and these events, and they tell a story in the history of World War II. I think that could like really be dope. But of course, I understand how people are like, well, it'd be better if we had all this stuff, you know, like day one on the game, right? I understand how people might be worried because of that. So, I mean, if you want to wait until there's like you get it for $30, I say it's worth $30. If you can get it for $30, I'd say cop it. If you're kind of concerned and you don't want to pay $60 for it, I say don't get it for $60. If you want to test the game out, I say get Origin access and see if you like the game.
I was gonna say, I still don't want to give it the full cosign because my main thing that I'm trying to figure out is, am I enjoying this game because I had such low expectations for it, or am I enjoying it because it's really fire? And I feel like I need to sit with it a little bit longer before I give that definitive opinion.
Yeah, I need to unlock everything first, and then I'll really know, you know, what I'm really feeling about it. But so far, I'm genuinely really enjoying it.
Can EA, if anybody from EA ever hears this, can you guys come out with like some type of streamer mode or something? Because like your games just blow my fucking PC up, and I'm trying to stream it. I'm trying to support you guys and show people that this game is dope, but it's like I dropped it down to low and my shit is still stuttering. Like off stream, the game runs perfectly fine on my PC. I have a beast PC,
we
but
gotta figure that out.
For some reason, whenever Ethos is able to stream it. I've seen other people stream it, but I'm not the only one, because when I tweeted about it, other people were saying the same thing. There's something going on under the hood.
What's your CPU?
I got a
older CPU.
I got a 6700K i7. I was thinking maybe I need more cores. Maybe.
What do you got? Like an 8-core one?
Nah, it's a 4 or 6, I believe. I don't know. This is nerd shit.
We'd have to deep dive. Yeah.
People listening, what the fuck? I'm a console gamer. Well, shut up.
I'm a PS4. What
the fuck is a core? We just talked about Red Dead, goddammit.
So I don't know.
About PC now.
I don't know. We'll see. Any opinions, Khalief or Jay, on Battlefield?
I'll let Jay go first.
Go. Oh no. Ethos, after we went through the beta, I was very surprised. I was very surprised to hear him say, "Oh man, this game feels like Battlefield 3." I'm like, "What, Ethos? Please, like, don't say these things.
Don't troll me."
Yeah, because I was very, very into Battlefield 3, especially when I got it on PC. Because console was one thing, but PC, oh my god, like my mind was blown. That was like one of the first games that I played when I got my PC. So for him to say that, I will trust his opinion. I will legit. I will
say that I didn't play 3, but I did play 4 in Hardline, and I think I had the most fun. I played 3 after it was like popping. I didn't play it like when it first came out. It was it was dead at that point.
He wasn't really on there when I said first. Yeah, he wasn't. Really on there.
But I was into 4 heavy, and I will say this is probably the most fun I've had with Battlefield since 4. Probably.
In Battlefield 4, I know that they came out rough, but after they
patched it,
it was unplayable. Yeah, it was basically unplayable.
Unplayable.
But after that, Battlefield 4 was fine. But for him to say that it feels like Battlefield 3, I'm more inclined. And you look like you were having fun. I saw you beasting Ethos. So
you saw them clips. You saw me snipe. Oh my god, bro!
I just hope y'all like chilling. You don't
like when I think about it.
On God, on God,
EA game
on God, on God. I would slander EA if this game was trash. I swear to God, I'm not even trying to get invited. No or not. It's none of that. Like
I was gonna say, like off the top of my head, when I think about it, I have a lot of clips of me just getting multi kills. Like so, when I think about it, the time to kill is really good in the game. Like you could go.
It feels like Call of Duty time to kill. You can murk people fast in the game, bro. If you're good and you can aim and you hit them in the head, you could kill 3-4 squad. You could kill a whole squad like that if you're really.
I felt confident in gunfights. I'll say that.
Yeah. That's the thing. Remember we played the beta? We played the beta, and remember how we didn't feel confident when we got into a gunfight? Like, you felt like you put a clip in somebody and they run away, or they'd murk you really fast, and you're like, what the hell? This game feels complete polar opposite. Like, every time I engage in a gunfight, I feel confident. I never feel scared to, like, shoot at somebody.
It's like it was an actual beta, and they actually used that month to change things.
Yeah,
that month delay, they actually did something. They did a lot of work. I
don't know what they did, but they did it.
More studios need to do what DICE did that month, Roy. DICE needs to do a GDC. Khalief knows what's up. They need to do a GDC and explain what they did in that month, because I would love to know what they did. That was
truly inspirational.
Truly inspirational.
What was you about to say, Khalief?
No, I was just gonna. I forgot what I was gonna say because he thought it was so hype. No, I'm one of those folks who I love Battlefield. The name of our show is based off of Battlefield to a certain extent.
Gotcha.
But it's one of those things where it's I have been fiending to play a good Battlefield game because I hated one. I didn't like that game at all.
Yeah, the snipers.
Snipers are unreasonable. It was really, really bad. Now that I'm hearing all these glowing things from folks, it makes me want to definitely jump in because I bought a new card for this bad boy. So I was like, yo, when this drops, I need to go get it. And now it's out and I have to go cop it. So I'm excited to hear everybody else is really excited about it. So we're...
Yeah, we've been looking for it because remember me and Ethos were talking about like it's been a really long time since GI as a whole has had a squad game that we could all play together. So it'd be nice if maybe this might be it.
Especially a shooter, like a good shooter at that.
Good shooter.
Because A9, I know A9's been waiting on one for forever since since Ethos.
A9 was so hyped for BF1, and then we just wow.
Yeah, we were all excited. We were like, it feels okay, and then we didn't end up getting it.
He told me, which was crazy. He's like, yo, it's wild how y'all went. I wasn't at E3 that year. He was like, it's wild. Y'all went to E3 and y'all came back and was like, yo, BF1 is fire, and Titanfall 2, y'all was like, meh. And then literally when the games come out, it flipped, and it was like
the vertical slices, boy. So I don't get excited about nothing no more. These damn vertical slices, they'll get your ass.
That's you lacking, boy.
And then a year later, they make a video about you saying you lied.
You're a fake. You're a liar. You're a shill.
Some bullshit. Matt, they did that to us with Mass Effect too, bro.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't trust nobody no more. I ain't getting excited about nothing.
Nothing no more.
I've learned my lesson.
I want to be surprised. Like I want more to be a 5 experience. I want to be disappointed to go in and be like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Nice. But yeah, it is what it is with Battlefield 5. So if you guys want to check it out, yeah, check it out. Moving on to the news portion of the show. Big news coming out this week is that Sony will not be attending E3 2019, which is interesting because for the past 5 years, everybody's been shouting E3 is dying. You've got the Nintendo Direct. Nintendo doesn't really show up. And then now you got Sony pulling out. And at this point, only thing left is Microsoft and indie games. So Microsoft's going to have a big ass booth. Fortnite's going to have a big ass booth. They're going to be showing off their new emotes, and Microsoft's going to be showing off their new controllers because they don't have any games. And then you're going to have like a few indie games. Let's talk about it. Jay, how you feel about Sony pulling out of E3?
Here's the new meme that's going around. It's going to be just Fortnite at E3, so you enjoy that. It's going to be a full Fortnite extravaganza with the full tournament. This sucks because even though Sony, I would say they have been scaling back as the years have gone by, and we've had such a hard time just trying to get in contact with them and like check out anything, pretty much anything in their area. But I still enjoyed the fact that, because I was already mad when Nintendo about it. I mean, they're still there, but they're only showing like 1 or 2 games per time, and then they don't have a conference anymore, so they're doing their Nintendo Direct. But for Sony to just not show a period, I mean, that's pretty huge, because like Microsoft has not been coming with it. Like you said, like they just be showing their controllers pretty much every year for like the past 3 years, and Sony, at least when they come, they have things to show. I feel like they still have a little bit more to show than the other two big companies. So for them to just not show a period, like it really sucks, because like I don't even know like who else is going to be there. Like what are going to be the big things that we're going to see? Like if they're not going to come there, if they're not going to have a conference, what else do we have to be excited about?
More Ubisoft.
I mean, pretty much like it's going to be the individual companies that are going to be there still, and hopefully, you know, they don't decide to bow out, because even we've seen other big companies bow out, like EA. They're not showing up anymore.
You think they'll do a Sony play or a Sony Direct?
I mean, I feel like they should. If they're not going to do anything,
they don't have any games.
But then, like, what's going to happen at PSX? Because PSX is kind of
like The Last of Us 2. The game of the generation is coming. I'm
telling you, if Sony's about to release their PS5 in 2020, let's say that's the rumor, right? Why would they waste their games when they can make them all console, like starting launch titles?
So you think that's what they're doing? They're planning for the PS5?
Yeah. Why would they cancel PSX and say they don't have anything to show? Remember, all those games were in
So you think the rumor's true? We could see something 2019, 2020 for PS5? I think they're
trying to get ahead with the PS5, and they're going to make all those boys launch. Think about it.
I just bought a PS4 Pro. I'm going to be mad.
That's why I'm not buying a Pro. Think about it. They're going to release this PS5. It's going to be 4K, 60 FPS, probably machine, maybe stream machine as well. You can stream your games, digital downloads, all that jazz. They're going to be like, all right, our launch titles are Last of Us 2, the Kojima game. What's the other games they're working on? What's that? Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima. You tell me all those games come out, you ain't copping one day one if all those.
Of course.
Days Gone won't be, but everything else, yes, I would.
Yeah, like. That's smart. I'm not gonna lie, that's smart. If that's why they're delaying these games and they're not gonna really like do a big dent in 2019. And then Microsoft's busy with all these studios they bought, so now they probably have them working under the iron, working on these new exclusive games for their next console. Gears 5 is probably gonna be pushed for PS or Xbox 2 or whatever it is. So what they're probably going to do is they're going to launch them, and then they're going to do like what they did with last gen. Remember how there's that whole weird like year of this is on 360 and also on Xbox One, and you can carry your progress over to the new one. They're probably going to do something just like that.
They're going to do another transition to the next generation. That will make more sense. But I don't know. I feel like E3 is going to be like mad bare.
Like Des, how much you want to bet Kojima already has the PS5 dev kit? I bet you that's what that his game's been running on, like what they've been showing and stuff. I bet you, or it's like a PC that's built with the specs of like what they imagine the PS5 is going to be.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we're not.
He gets all that love.
Yep. Oh, no, we're getting ready for all the remasters. They're going to remaster. I bet you they're going to remaster Bloodborne and put it on this new console at 60 FPS, and everybody will go and buy it. Everybody will go and buy it. I might buy it. Watch. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm calling Sony's plan. If I'm right, oh man, someone's got to sub to me on Twitch.
These guys. Any take on it, Khalief?
This is the biggest news that we've had coming out of E3 since E3.
What did you just say?
I said it's the biggest news coming out of E3.
Oh, it sounded like you said it's the biggest news. I was like, what?
I haven't been doing that early.
Oh my goodness. I was like, yo, okay. We getting lit.
I just came out the bag. Goddamn. No, I mean, think about it this way though. Like everything that Ethos said times 2, right? It's like they have already figured out that not holding the last conference after a bad E3 showing was the smartest thing that they could have done. Because now, think about all the hype that they've generated for a show that no one knows when it's going to happen, for a console that we don't even know it's coming until whenever it actually gets announced, right? So like they could do a double for 2019 and put up both a smaller event that just showcases what the PS5 is supposed to be, maybe even do a reveal, then either expand on that at PSX, or just drop the whole thing at PSX as like, yo, this is what it looks like. This is what it launches with. Some stuff like that. Yep. So that they beat Microsoft to market again. That'll be nuts.
Yeah. And they have all those games. It's like, now they're like, the excuse would be, everyone says like, you don't want to get a console day one because there could barely be like all the launch games are going to be trash. Like what if they have these heavy hitters that everybody's been waiting for? I'm gonna be honest. I'm copping one day one.
I mean, here's the thing too.
Well, you're gonna have to pre-order that shit. I don't think you're gonna get it out the store.
You right?
Yeah. Well, it depends where you go.
Yeah, it depends where you go, but you might be right.
But it is one of those things that like I've been saying for a while, that even though Microsoft has lost the console cycle, they have been doing some of the smartest, most innovative stuff in their space. They don't have games to show it. Right. Like everybody's super excited about all the studios that they announced during E3 and the last XO18 thing, and there isn't anybody in that grouping that I'm still like, yo, that's going to be a heavy hitter game that's going to come out of this studio for this console. I don't see that yet. Like even the folks that are already well-known entities on the Sony side, even if they don't come out with a new title, if they do a refresh or they do a sequel to something, like imagine the new Spider-Man game, the sequel will be coming out on PS5. That's madness. Like that's madness. And then more than likely it'll probably happen, right? Like, and then what does that look like in comparison for the game that I consider probably one of my game of the year contenders already? So it's like them pulling out of this thing just sucked up all the oxygen in that room. Well, now I think even Microsoft, who put out a really snarky tweet about, we're excited about going to E3 2019. And I was like, yeah, because you have the rule of the roost at this point now. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible conference and nobody will care because you have no competition.
Right, because think about it. And we've been at E3 for a couple of years, respectively, as a crew, right? It's like you guys have been there for a while. I finally started to get in a couple of years ago. And the thing that was the topper of the week was Sony's press conference until last year, where they botched it, right? Yeah. And it was like, now that energy is not going to be there, I don't know if other folks are going to be that excited. I think most people waited for that end show to happen so that they could get excited about what's going to come out for the next year. And until Microsoft does something that shows us that they have the games to back that up, which they'll definitely have to throw out Halo with the newest console. They has to come out for that console, at least get shown as a launch title. There isn't a lot of stuff in that vein that's going to be really excited for them to show that we don't know about yet. So it won't be Crackdown. Damn sure ain't gonna be Crackdown. So we know we have to wait for them to do the thing. I just don't know who's going to take the place of Sony in that spot. I don't think Ubisoft wants it because they already have their own dedicated day and they already have a dedicated space for it. There's no real reason for them to move in. EA kind of really doesn't show much during E3 anyway. Who's the other folks that are going to take that spot? That's going to be interesting to see if somebody takes that spot and what they do with it.
The real question is what's going to happen to PlayStation VR?
PlayStation VR 2. That's a rumor. That's a rumor thing. That's definitely happening. I know that's probably going to happen. Like, it has to happen at this point. It's the only version of a console ready VR headset that has come to market and has done fairly well. There's no reason why they wouldn't boost it again.
It's upsetting because like E3 is always a cool experience, but to be honest, like I'm not surprised or completely upset by it. I mean, because like to be honest, now that we're like a few years out now, Nintendo was ahead of the game. Like with this internet age, there's no reason for E3 to exist. Like why spend millions of dollars making expensive ass booths with music playing, televisions and games everywhere to impress a few thousand people when you can just go straight to your consumer online for free? All you gotta do is get a cameraman, some on-air talent to present it, and you can go straight to the consumer, turn it into your own experience where you get all the attention. You don't gotta compete with everybody. It's like what's the point of E3? Like it's kind of archaic at this point if they don't find a way to innovate with it. So I'm not surprised by it. It'd just be interesting to see how everybody else will respond to this. And also, what is E3 going to actually do? Like, are they going to try to sell more space? There's going to be like, fuck it, Microsoft, you can have it.
Of tickets.
Yeah, up the pricing of tickets, but then you get less.
Nothing new.
Right.
Waiting lines longer.
That's a really good point. I do wonder what the ESA do in respect, because now that was the selling point, right? It was like you get to be and rub elbows with all these big name companies, and now most of them bad boys ain't gonna be there. This is gonna be one big ball pit.
It's gonna be the new PAX.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we saw how that went last year.
Yeah, that's why they were trying to compensate, and that's why they, ended up letting the public come.
Like, I'm going to
Gamescom
that
for the last couple of years, but yeah, now it's I don't know. E3 is becoming the thing of the past.
It's a dinosaur. GI does Germany.
Cool. They're trying to go to Germany?
Yeah, we're going international next time, bro. We're going to Gamescom. We're going to go to...
now, Ethos got a passport, finally.
I got my passport. Let's
go. Yes, bro. Oh, shit. Finally, bro.
International.
Oh, my goodness.
I was out there in Canada, didn't have to deal with all the racist shit. It was great.
It was great. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. We won't really see the effects until E3 2019. I'm gonna sit back and watch and see what kind of announcement they make, who gonna be there, and that's gonna decide whether or not we going. But to be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards a no. If this is Sony's really pulling everything out, doesn't really seem like it'd be worth your money because it's expensive to go to E3.
Or at least maybe a couple of us, but not everybody.
Yeah,
I don't think it'd be worth it. Yeah, because I feel like we still need to go just for networking purposes. But then again, if nobody's there to network with, then it still might be a moot point.
yeah.
But like I said, Sony ain't been showing us as much love, so we've been kind of iffy on them anyways. It's been everybody else.
I mean, they've been tightening up everything anyway for the past couple of years. I wonder how that reflects itself back out into the actual way the coverage comes out. Because they'll be able to do what they want and people will cover it from home if they do all that. But a lot of those deals, like you said, get made on the floor in those closed door sessions, getting those people in there. And I don't know if that's just going to tighten it up so that, the new level of influencer and, YouTube star and IG star gets all that love, or if it's going to be things that we get in those spaces too as content creators too. I think that's going to change a lot. I feel like they've already made it known that they have like ruled the roost for a bit, and they are definitely like on the top dog status, and they're like, yo, we pick who gets to rock with us right now, and if you ain't rocking with us, we ain't picking you.
Oh, we not getting in then.
Yeah, I'm not getting
right.
We've cursed Sony.
I don't know. There still might be hope. We got some things in the background, but it maybe a sliver of hope.
Word.
Yeah. It's funny too because we were talking about the PS5. We're talking about that already. since the last podcast, the PS4 turned 5 years old. And I put this in the show notes because I wanted to take this moment to maybe see if anybody had any great memories with the PS4. Actually, I'm going to take the floor on this one because I just wanted to take this moment in the show to slander Sony real quick. It was exactly 5 years ago at E3 2013 when Sony got on stage and said, we love the consumers. We're not going to do what the Xbox does, and we're for you, and we're pro-consumer. And everybody went crazy. Sony's for the people. And here we are 5 years later, and they won't do cross-play. They're not for the people. So I just want everybody to know, things change when you start winning. Motherfuckers start acting different. Don't believe anything these companies say, because I think that it's funny that exactly 5 years ago that happened. Does anybody have any PS4 memories? Nope. Okay. All right. Next topic.
I remember when they did this console refresh in the middle of the cycle and made people buy more shit. I remember that part.
I feel like there really hasn't been that many just flat out amazing games that came out on the PS4 over the this past generation. Like there's a few like highlights, but like I feel like there could have been more. I feel like every year we're just waiting. Most of the great games I feel like I played are multiplats, not really exclusives. There's The Last of Us remastered. You guys want to play that again? Nah. All right. The PlayStation Classic full lineup was revealed. 20 games will be on the PlayStation Classic. This is Sony's version of what Nintendo's doing with the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. The games are Battle Arena, Toshiden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy. I don't even know what number that is. I don't know Roman. Was that 7? I don't know. Fucking
this guy.
I don't know.
that is 7. You own culture swine.
I'll take it. I hate when stop doing this shit, bruh. Stop putting Roman numerals in your game. It doesn't make you look smart. Just put the fucking number so I know what it is. Jesus Christ. Grand Theft. Who wants to play the original Grand Theft Auto?
The original Grand Theft Auto was fire. Hell, hush.
You're bugging, bruh. Get out of here. I played that shit. I guess it's weird to play because my first Grand Theft Auto was Grand Theft Auto 3, and then to go back and play 1 and 2 was just weird, I guess.
That makes perfect sense, yes.
Yeah, but I guess if that was your first one, I guess you can love it. Intelligent Cube, I don't even know what that is. Jumpin' Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil's Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Fire, that's a classic game. Siphon Filter, another classic. Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. You guys feel like this is a good lineup?
No, and no one should be buying this shit. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
Why?
Stop doing it. I feel like these are such a waste of money. I don't care if you have the dough to do it. It feels like you're just enabling these bad actors to make you pay for shit that you already could get in other places, maybe legally, maybe illegally, but still in places that you can get for cheaper without having to make all this other plastic nonsense you don't really want. Nobody wants that stuff. I feel like nostalgia is one of those things that people tread on so hard. People cop it and then they get mad and don't use it. Like it just winds up sitting there collecting dust when people are like, I really wanted that really small thing that was a version of the bigger thing that I could probably get for cheaper at a GameStop anyway.
I thought about the same thing. Like once the hype dies down for these things, it's like, what do y'all do with these? Because I know you're not playing them on the daily. New games are coming out. I feel like these classic things are for like people who are probably going through shit and they just want to relive a simpler time and be like, oh man, you remember when Final Fantasy 7 came out? Yeah, man, I'm gonna get the PlayStation Classic so I just get away from my dead-end job. Like if I want to play that game, I'll just play it on fucking PC. You can get it for like $20, bruh. Get a fucking emulator, allegedly. But
right, like, oh man, it feels like, oh, this Fallout 76 was shitty. Let me go play this old ass Sony PlayStation game to cleanse my palate. Like nobody's saying that. Nobody wants that. That's a lie.
Also, to keep it a buck, if you go back and play a lot of these games fucking suck, bro. A lot of these games are not standing the test of time, bro.
They're not good games. They're not great games. I'm not a fan of retro gaming. And I love that shit, but it's not a thing I need.
I love Spyro the Dragon, and I did not know until the remaster came out, and I did some research on the remaster. I did not know in the original Spyro the Dragon there was no control for the camera. Like you had the left analog stick to control Spyro, and that also controlled the camera. Now, in my brain, because the way the games have advanced, I thought that the right analog stick off rip was controlling the camera. Like that's just how I remembered it. But nope, Apparently, we've been playing games with controlling the camera and the character with one analog stick, and then the remaster they actually fixed it to where you can control the camera with the right analog stick and then your character with the left to make it more modern. But like if I would have went back and played it now, I feel like that would have fucked up my perception of what Spyro was, because games have advanced so much. So a lot of these games really ain't as good as people remember, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm iffy on it, but I think it is just a test of nostalgia. But to be honest, I don't have the time or the patience to deal with these games. There are so many new games out, and we have different roles now. I don't see myself going back spending any amount of time playing these games. And if I do, it may be like 1 to 2 hours, and then I'm going to put it up. I like the concept, like for some people who possibly can't find some of these games. I wish that they may have taken more time and tried to like put some of the imports or the harder type of games that you can't find down in the wild, or that you're paying like a pretty penny for if you want to get it. Maybe if they put those games on there, it would have been more of a draw to like those people who like to collect or whatever, or for those people who just want to play those games period but just can't find it. I think that that would have been cool, but for these games to like, you know, they're common games that you can find anywhere in any bin somewhere or the flea market or something, like those are fine, but I don't think that those would be a better draw for me. Just getting these regular games on there, I'm not going to play them again.
I mean, if I was really feeling nostalgia, I'll just go on eBay or Craigslist or something and get an actual PlayStation for like $30. Like, why would I pay $100 for a smaller one?
I feel like if you were interested in this already, you already have that console and you never sold it. Like as soon as you got it, you kept it and you kept all these games, so you already have them.
That bitch don't even play Blu-rays. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, that's the PlayStation Classic. Last piece of PlayStation news I got on the notes is PUBG's on PS4. Does anybody care?
Too little, too
I'm
late.
excited for that. Really?
Boy, stop lying.
You don't think people are going to come to that game and play it now that it's on?
They are.
Just like H1Z1, but they're going to drop it right after.
I still don't feel like it's gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna gain any ground. Like last year when PUBG first came out, Sony people were mad. They were super upset. Xbox people were mad until it went on there, and then they seen how shitty it was, and they were like, "Oh man, like why is my PUBG not playing like yours? What is that?" Like it came out and it was dog shit. Like it was terrible. I mean, they finally ended up making strides on it, but still, the Xbox One X, it looks much better. The Xbox One PUBG looks absolutely terrible still. But for it coming on PS4, I still don't think that enough people are going to be drawn over here to take any type of fan base away from Fortnite. I think that Fortnite literally did the best thing that they could have done. They put it on every single platform you can imagine, and they already have that fan base. I don't think that PUBG is going to capture that Sony fan base back that they lost.
What's the name? I heard the Xbox version of PUBG is so bad that like the aiming is so bad that people kill each other with cars on the final circle. They run each other over. I mean, that's what my Twitch chat told me, and I thought that was the funniest fucking shit, bro. So why would it be any different on the PS4? Because to be honest, I personally like the Xbox controller over the PS4. I think the PS4 controller is not very good, but just trying to aim on that thing, and
I would hope that with all the missteps that happened in the very, very access version of PUBG that went out on the platform, that before Sony signed that deal, that they were like, "Yo, fix your shit.
Better make sure it's ready.
Fix your shit before you put this on our console." Like, I would hope that they did that and had that conversation, because if not, then that's bad business.
Freaking, what was it? PlanetSide 2 will turn your PS4 into a NASA spaceship, so I'm pretty sure PUBG will too. So if you're trying to, if you guys got your electricity cut off, you can't use your oven or nothing like that, your PS4, I mean, take it to a friend's house. You can probably cook with it with PUBG or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you aren't interested, I mean, December 7th, you can pre-order it now, guys. So for those Sony people that are still excited, never got to play it, I guess you'll have your chance.
Be in that final circle by yourself.
Do you care about this, Ethos?
No, I don't care about PUBG anymore.
True. Man, yeah, if this game would have came out at the height of the PC's launch, like I think PUBG would have been in a better position. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. Fortnite's here. Blackout is here. This is Blackout. Before we move on with the show, we got another sponsor we wanted to bring up with you guys. I'm gonna let Jay take the floor on this one. Go ahead, sir.
All right, guys, it's holiday season, and there's nothing better about the holiday season than unwrapping a brand new phone until you get hit with that brand new monthly bill. Big wireless providers can really suck the joy out of the holidays. So this year, don't just upgrade your phone, upgrade your wireless provider and switch to Mint Mobile. For a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering the best holiday deal in wireless you've ever seen. 3 months of service for only $20. Yes, that's $20. Mint Mobile's holiday deal is only here for a limited time. $20 total gets you 3 months of wireless service with 5 gigabytes of 4G LTE data each month, plus unlimited talk and text. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. You can keep your old phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Mint Mobile runs on the nation's fastest, most advanced LTE network. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. Ditch your old wireless bill and start saving with Mint Mobile. So here's a deal, people, for the holidays. Take advantage of this Mint Mobile holiday deal before it's gone. Get 3 months of wireless for only $20 and get the plan shipped to your door for free by going to mintmobile.com/GI. That's mintmobile.com/GI. That's 3 months of service for just $20 at mintmobile.com/GI.
Hey, so shout out to Mint Mobile for supporting the show, for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it. You guys check out that deal. All right, back into the news. This one was really interesting and depressing. So the Army, the U.S. Army is now recruiting youngsters using eSports and video games. If you are active duty, reserved, or retired, you're able to apply for this new Army esports thing. Apparently the American Army, they didn't hit their recruitment goal. They have like quotas that they have to hit, and they were like 6,500 below, because I guess people just aren't interested in fighting pointless wars. So I don't know why like people don't want to.
Stop.
I don't know why they don't want to join the military. Just
appreciate your service. Teammates do not speak for the voice of GI.
Hey, whoa, my dad was in the Army. Yo, shout out to
my dad was in the Army.
Yeah, shout out to the soldiers, bro. I support the troops. I'm talking about just young people. It's just, I don't know what it is, man.
I feel you. You know, just people gonna take it wrong.
It's like this Trump guy or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So they're struggling to recruit youngsters. They're going to be competing in esports tournaments for games for PUBG, Fortnite, Overwatch, FIFA, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Madden, NBA 2K, and Tekken. So a wide array of games. And if you join this, you'll be a part of like their marketing campaign. So basically you're giving them the right to use the, I guess, like in the commercials and like print and stuff like that. And they're just hoping that they can, I guess, reconnect with the community, because I guess the one of the Army spokespersons said that they feel like there's a disconnect between youngsters and the military. I don't know why.
Wow, darn millennials don't want to fight.
Wow.
And this is really depressing because when we were at PAX South last year, I specifically remember saying to one of us that was with me, I think it might have been Black. We were walking around and like the Army had a big ass booth like on the left side of the thing, and it took up like half the damn building. And like they were like playing, like they had like this big RV and they had like this VR game in there, and they were like, I guess they were like simulating war and shit like that. And I was like, this is like really depressing to see this, like y'all trying to like use video games and make it like cool and stuff like that. I feel like if a person wants to join the military, they're gonna join the military. I don't know if and they did this when I was in high school too. I remember they brought and this was like 10 years ago, like when they first started. They brought like this Humvee with like this with this gun on top, and then like they had like a screen and like you could do like you could like shoot the bad guys and stuff, and then it was like join the military, get a free t-shirt. I was like, I don't know. How y'all feel about this? Y'all think this is a good idea? You guys want to enlist now?
What games are they gonna like? What's their esports team gonna be in? Like, is it just shooters or?
I literally just said it.
Fortnite, Overwatch, FIFA,
Fortnite,
League.
FIFA?
Literally every genre it seems like they're going after.
And Tekken, bro. Listen,
It'll be like esports for Surgeon Simulator. Is that what we're gonna do?
What's the name?
I mean, America's Army always had a big presence at E3 and most of the conferences, right? Like I remember specifically that stuff that you were talking about, and then even some years before that, where they were trying to heavily recruit folks. Remember when drones finally became a thing that was like out in the market for everybody else? And then right after that happened, the military started to promote and started to do campaigns around you being a young recruit who could be able to use a drone to kill people in real life.
I remember those commercials. Yes,
they were. So it's like it's not far fetched, and we've seen the tech kind of move in that way for a long time. Where even some years ago, police officers were using it at local training facilities. They would use these kind of green screen, digitized versions of simulations for some of that stuff. So like the game crossover makes weird sense. That's a thing that's happening. It's just really disconcerting to be like, yo, all that Hellfire missiles that you dropped in COD now can get you some kudos and some points in real life.
Like you get 20 kill streaks, man. You want to join the army, bro? Like,
yeah, right? Like there is going to be somebody who's going to be one of those gung-ho cats who's going to be like, yo, I wreck people in these games. Yo, this is the perfect thing for me. There's gonna be those people who are gonna be doing that stuff.
I guess it makes me uncomfortable because I mean, like, we all been gamers for a long time, and you already know when we was kids, like, it was hard being a gamer. Like, you got made fun of, like you was a dweeb or whatever. And it's like, now that this shit is popping, now y'all want to show up at our events and like use us as like a farming for like your system. It's like you wasn't with us shooting in the field, and now all of a sudden we're valuable.
Now you want to shoot in the field?
Yeah. Like it's just weird to me. Like I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable that now I'm going to events and I see them there. I'm like, what do you have to do with this? Like I said, once again, if you want to join the military, I feel like people who want to join the military, they're gonna join. If you want to recruit people better, I feel like they should do a better job of expressing that the military has more to offer besides infantry and driving tanks and blowing shit up. Because most people don't know. Like, at least for like the army, there's like 200 different types of jobs that you can get. Different types of professions. Like, why not promote that and show people that, hey, you can learn like IT or something else through the military to, like, get out of my events, bro. I don't know.
They used to do that joint, and then people came home and was like, I can't get to the VA.
Facts.
They were like, yo, you can do all this cool stuff. You want a computer science degree? You can do that in the Army, in the Navy, and all this other stuff. And then they came out and they were like, yo, there ain't no jobs for me.
Yeah.
So it's hard to recruit that way when you can be like, yo, take your military service, and then what are you going to do after that? If the civilians don't take you back, you can go on Twitch.
Yeah.
You can be a Twitch star.
Hey, JG, you know what this sounds like, right?
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah, need to watch it. I remember years ago when the military was like actively scouting people who were like playing Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then they ended up making their own video game to try to get people. Like, if you were really good at these video games, then you could join the military. And I still don't think that works. Yeah, you don't remember that campaign? They did that campaign.
If you're good at Gran Turismo, exactly. Like, you can drive these. Like, nah, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, then they end up
this shit don't feel like a warthog. What the
So yeah, I don't know how good of a job that they did to recruit people that way. So for this being, one of the next steps, it's interesting. I do know that there are a lot of people, while they're not fighting in these pointless wars, they have a lot of downtime. So they do play video games a lot at these camps and these bases. So I do know that there's still a lot of gamers in the military. So I guess this would be a good way to appeal to them in that aspect. I wish them the best of luck if this is what they want to do and if they actually get people to get in there. I just don't think that they're going to necessarily target any people who were not in the military yet to get in there. And this is the whole reason why they say that they did it, because they didn't get enough recruits. So I don't think it's going to capture those people. I think it's going to capture people who are already in the military or who recently retired. It's going to be more appealing to them.
I wonder if it works in the reverse, though, because I know a lot of cats who have been gamers already and then go into the military and then come back out. And when you play games with them, they just play games in a different way than the way that you play. Like, especially super tactical stuff like Rainbow Six and all that kind of stuff. Like, I remember rolling in with cats and they were like using lingo and shit. And I was like, yo, they like, do I have to really cover my six for real? Like, is this like a real thing? Like, I really got to do this? I wonder if it works in reverse, where if there are people who didn't play games, who went into the military and learned some of those skills, if they come back out having better like if some of those things translate back into game life in some weird way, like that would be dope to see. Because I know the cats who are the snipers in the games that I play, most of those cats are military cats and they fuck people up. Like they're like, yo, you're zeroing in the wrong way. Okay, what do you mean? They're like, yo, you got to do this and this and this, and I'm like, oh, word? They're like, yeah, watch me get this shot for like 400 meters away. I'm like, all right, cool, and they do it and I'm like, yo, okay, that should translate. All right, that's nuts. It's madness, but it totally works in some of the people that I've met.
Yeah, that's actually really dope. That's a lot of potential money right there. I just hope it doesn't turn into something like, hey, son, sign right here, join the military and get a free PS5. Just sign the dotted line. I just hope it doesn't turn into something like that. Like I don't know. Let's get off this topic. A detective. Did anybody know this movie was coming out? Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
I didn't even know. I guess I haven't been paying attention. This trailer just came out of nowhere for me. So Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie, a trailer dropped for it, and it's got a kid, a trainer, and he's the only one that can understand the Pikachu. I don't really understand the premise of the movie other than they can talk to each other and they're going on some type of adventure. But I'm not gonna lie, like it doesn't look terrible to me. Like I'll go see it. I don't have any faith in video game movies, but I'll give it a chance. I guess it's like an abusive relationship when it comes to video game movies. I guess I'll go see it. Maybe this will be the one. But what'd you think of it, Jay?
I mean, I thought that the CG was actually pretty okay. As soon as this trailer came out, I seen so many people on Twitter. They were like, why does Pikachu look like this? Why does Jigglypuff look yellow and not pink? Why does Mr. Mime look like that? And I thought that it was actually okay. Like I thought that they actually did a good job. Whoever was working on this, I didn't really see an issue with it. And another problem that they were saying was that Ryan Reynolds was doing the voice of Pikachu, and I already knew that. Like there was already rumors like long time ago that was saying that he was going to do the role of Pikachu, and now we're seeing it as a full-fledged movie. So I wasn't surprised about that part either. It was just actually seeing the visuals that got a lot of people upset, but and then nobody knew the premise of it either. Nobody knew what.
I don't know if people are upset it's Ryan Reynolds. I think they're more so upset that Pikachu has a masculine voice.
No, it wasn't Ryan Reynolds. It was just they found it to be weird. It's not Ryan Reynolds. They don't really care like who the voice of it was going to be. Yeah. But I think again when the trailer came out, more people were just upset at how the Pokemon looked, and I didn't really see a problem with it. I thought it looked okay to me.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing because it's realism.
And then I mean, the story is they say that the young boy is trying to find his dad, so that's pretty much it. It's
a shonen. It's gonna be some power the friendship shit.
Yeah, it's not really too much to it. Yeah. And of course during the trailer they didn't explain like how he can hear all the Pokemon either. So I don't know if they're going to like go into any backstory on how he can do that. But I think it's okay. Like I'll check it out.
This is one of those moments where I kind of wish I had a kid or like a little nephew or something that I could take to go see it, so I don't look like a loser when I go see it by myself. What is this grown ass man doing here at the Pikachu movie? What'd you think, Ethos?
I thought it looks really good. I can't wait. It looks really cool. Definitely a lot of nostalgia in it. I agree with JG. I thought all the Pokemon looked actually pretty cool. I have no issue with the voice either. I think it's kind of funny because now Deadpool is officially Pikachu now. So like that's crazy shit. So that's pretty cool as well. I just think it's gonna be a fun movie. I think it's gonna be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit Pokemon Edition, which I think is gonna be pretty interesting. So who knows? This could be like the first successful like video game type movie. I'm on board.
Any thoughts, Khalief?
My only disappointment is that Samuel Jackson did not voice Pikachu. That was my vote.
What's up, motherfuckers?
That's what I wanted. Pika. Like I wanted to be something that would be in that respect. But that was my only thing about the Pikachu.
Pika, bitch.
Right. I feel that. You think they'll do any type of like special promotion where they tie in like, I don't know, the Switch game, like come to the theater and get a free Pokemon or some shit to try to sucker people in?
Yeah.
Like they did back in the day with like the Mew Pokemon cards if you went to go see the movie.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, they could. I think that'll actually be very good marketing if they did.
Somebody from Nintendo's listening right now. Jot that down.
Pokemon Go just magically moving you towards a movie theater. It's just like, all the good ones are right here. Oh, I'm at the movie theater. Who knew?
That movie drops May 11th, 2019, so look out for that. I'm sure more trailers will drop. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Another another gaming movie that's going to be coming out. There's a Super Mario Bros. Movie. This one is not a live action one. It's supposed to be animated. It's being produced by the company that did Minions and Despicable Me, and they have Miyamoto on board consulting for this one. So here's another one. This one's supposed to drop 2022. You guys have any faith in a why do I keep saying that? Super Mario Bros. Movie after the first one from the 90s?
Nope.
Hold that.
Negative.
Once again, what is this going to be about? Like, because first of all, if it's a 2-hour movie about Mario and Peach getting kidnapped by Bowser again, it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, I might have to get an alleged link. Like, come on, we've heard this story a million times already. I just did it in Odyssey for the 30th time, and like now y'all trying to charge me for a movie to see it. I don't know.
Like, hey, how did Batman's parents die? Can you show me that again?
Also, Mario doesn't really talk, so that'll be interesting to see. I know he talked in the animated series from like the 90s, but I mean that was a long time ago. Most of these kids don't know anything about that, so it'd be interesting to see who they get to voice the characters.
That's crazy.
It should be Ryan Reynolds.
You're right.
Doing
Though. Mario has
Pikachu
been a mute,
as Mario.
Like, he has been a mute like this entire career. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I never really thought about that. He's one of the most iconic game characters there ever has been.
Literally, the only thing you ever heard him say is "It's a me to Mario." Like,
Here we go.
And here we go.
I want him to talk like Jigsaw from Saw. That shit would be fucking amazing.
Oh my goodness! It's like I don't really know what to expect from this, but hey, they announced it. Any thoughts, Ethos?
No, I don't really care.
Yeah.
We go from something that we're slightly interested in to who gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Good old Mario. He's got the world's longest job resume. And then last thing I got on my notes is the Game Award 2018 nominations have been announced. I know Khalief is a really big fan of the Game Awards.
So much.
We're not going to go through all these sections. I'm gonna just pick the ones that matter. Let me start from the bottom because the top starts with Game of the Year. Let me see at the bottom what they got for nominations. Let's see. Best eSports. Nobody cares. Esports host. Nobody cares. Esports. God damn, it's a lot of esports. What the fuck?
esports.
Jesus Christ.
You know it.
Best student game.
What's the over-under that Keeley is going to have another love letter to Kojima during the show?
Oh my god.
What's the over-under on that?
Another deep throating section?
Oh my. Jesus Christ. All right, here's the first section that actually matters. Best multiplayer game: Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Fortnite, Monster Hunter World, and Sea of Thieves. Well, who y'all think gonna win?
Pretty sure Fortnite's gonna get it.
No damn sure Sea of Thieves won.
Why is that Why
is it even in there?
Right.
Why is that game in there?
That's not really it. No.
That payola. What's the name?
Man.
Why is Fortnite there? That game ain't finished.
So that game is finished.
No, it's not. That shit's still in beta.
Technically, it's not finished, but it's hella done.
No, Epic said it. No, Epic got lazy. That's what that is, bro.
No, Epic trying to legally get around some shit by keeping it in beta.
That game is hella done, bro.
Bullshit.
That game done and done.
All right, so we saying Fortnite on that. Best sports / racing game, which I always thought this was weird when they combine this, but FIFA 19, Forza Horizon 4, Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, and then Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. What do y'all think?
Probably FIFA. FIFA comes out and it's solid every year. 2K, I can't say that.
I wouldn't be mad at Mario got it.
Yeah, I feel like I'd give it to Mario. I didn't even play that game just because I hate 2K. Best strategy game, who cares? Best family game, who cares? Best fighting game. Okay, here we go. Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighter, Soul Calibur 6, and then Street Fighter 5 Arcade.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah, I would give it to Soul Calibur. But I would think Dragon Ball would win though. For popularity reasons. No, popularity reasons is what I'm saying.
Soul Calibur.
It's the better game. I agree.
I think that DBZ will win it. Yeah. I think
Soul Calibur.
Especially after Evo. Dragon Ball was the best game at Evo, bro. It was the biggest game. I mean, that
I don't care.
Crazy.
Soul Calibur.
All right, my God.
I feel like I need to get up on that game. Is it really that good?
Yeah,
it's fire.
It's one of the few it's one of the few fighting games where like if I get beat, I don't get mad because like I just know they're better than me. Like it's there's a little bit of cheese in there, but it's pretty balanced for the most part. It's a very underrated fighter. Let's see, best role playing game, Dragon Age. What is that number? Dragon Quest. I mean, which one is that?
That's 11.
See, look, hold on. Is it 8 or 11? Now, y'all clowned me earlier because I didn't know my Roman numerals. It looks like my
that's 11.
Yeah. Y'all don't even know. Just put the fucking number in there. I hate this shit.
Ito doesn't know his Roman numerals either.
Shut up. I actually played the game. I don't want to hear it.
I'm black, not Roman.
You still thought it was 8, you dummy.
You guys didn't even play that game. I don't want to hear it.
It's 11, man.
All right. Dragon Quest 11. Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, and Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. What's best role playing? I feel like Octopath would win.
It's a crowd favorite.
So I don't know.
I haven't played any of them either.
What were the other ones?
Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, and Pillars of Eternity 2.
I got to feel like Monster Hunter's gonna win it, and I didn't even play it just off of popularity. I think Monster Hunter won't win it.
Disappointing games of 2018.
Yeah, they need to put that. They need to add that list, but we can't be negative. Best action adventure game: Odyssey, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I want to give it to God of War on this one,
but we already know Red Dead's gonna win everything.
I really hope it does it.
This guy's a clown. Fuck it. I gotta finish Odyssey. Like right now, like I'm putting Odyssey probably in top 3, top 5 already, but like depending on how it ends, it could be number 1 for me. But right now, I give it to God of War.
Same. I give it God of War.
Odyssey was really good though, but I think I'm still getting another God of War.
Okay. What'd you say, Khalief?
So I need to finish Odyssey too.
Yeah, Spider-Man was really good, but it just wasn't Game of the Year material too.
It
didn't do anything like crazy for me.
Tell me, it would have been, but those fucking Mary Jane stealth sections killed.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Killed the game for me,
It was
bro.
so bad.
Poor Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It never stood a chance.
Oh, poor game. It wasn't even that bad either.
It was a good game.
Pretty good, yeah.
Square Enix just needs to learn what release dates are and why they're important. This is the second time they've done this to themselves. This is the second time they've done it.
The second time they've done it to Tomb Raider.
That's even worse.
Right.
Fucking best action game: Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11. I don't even know why Far Cry 5 is here.
I'm gonna say something very controversial.
Okay.
Destiny 2, Forsaken.
I don't think that's controversial.
I'm gonna get slandered for it.
What category was it again?
Best action.
Best action.
Ooh.
Compared to all the other options, I guess the only one that could be maybe Dead Cells. I heard good things about Dead Cells. I think you played it.
Dead Cells is fantastic.
Especially after the IGN situation, they might give it to him. A pity vote.
Oh my
man, I forgot about that for a second.
Yo.
They stole the review so you could steal the award. Here you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I might have to get into Destiny 2. And I even played the Forsaken just looking at this list, and I enjoyed the other DLCs. I didn't play Black Ops 4 is whatever to me. Best VR game, nobody cares. Best mobile game, nobody cares. Best independent, I'm looking at that. Dead Cells is gonna win that. Games of impact, what? Best performance.
Yeah, some of these categories were weird. Like best ongoing game. What the fuck does that mean? Best ongoing game.
Yeah.
Oh, like a live service, I guess you could say.
Yeah, what's still going? I get what you're saying though.
That makes sense. So best performance, the dude who played Connor. These fucking names, I don't know these people. Dude who played Kratos.
Stop slandering Connor.
I'm giving it to the. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, but old girl who played Cassandra killed it in Odyssey, in my opinion.
I was gonna give it to Kratos, but yeah, I could give it to Cassandra too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if Kratos won too.
Whoever wins in that category, I would be fine with.
No. Fuck Connor.
No, he did a good job.
Hi, I'm Connor.
No, I don't like him. I don't like him, bro.
Connor was good.
He's a bum.
Bro,
wait, hold on.
Can we talk character?
Can we talk about just how badly Jesse Williams' character was in that movie? How bad that character was.
That's why he's not in there. Okay, Robot Jesus is not in there. Okay?
They coincidentally made the black robot the freedom fighter. I'm like over slavery. I'm like, was that on purpose?
He was touching people.
Y'all not gonna do it. We not gonna do this. Okay. Y'all gonna leave my game alone.
I don't care.
I like that game. I don't care.
I'm just gonna roll up next time. Look, next time I see y'all at E3, I'm gonna just roll up on y'all. Y'all ain't gonna see me coming. I'm gonna just roll up on y'all, touch you on the shoulder, and be like, "You are free."
You're like, you know what? I'm right.
I'm just walk away. That's all I'm gonna do. And then Ethan's gonna spit on my shoes and be like, "Get away from me, cop."
I don't care about these music sections. I don't care about the music section. Best art direction: Odyssey, God of War, Octopath, Red Dead. What the fuck is Return of Obra Dinn?
I actually don't know what that is at all.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Boo.
Return of what? Oh, I googled it. I was streaming on this list when I was determining mine, and I googled it because no one in the chat knew what it was. It's like it's a mystery game where you are on a ship and you have to discover.
Oh yeah, it's real mysterious. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's got this weird ass art style, but it looked pretty cool.
I mean, between Odyssey, God of War, and Octopath, I wouldn't be mad if any of those three won Best Art.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get an Odyssey credit, boy.
Yeah. I don't care. I mean, first of all, I'll be the first one to slander Ubisoft games, bro. If they make a good game, I'm gonna give them credit. And right now, I didn't accidentally play 85 hours, and I still haven't beaten the story. It must be good.
Obviously manipulated you into playing.
Yeah. I think. Let me see if the check cleared. Let me go to WellsFargo.com. Best narrative: Detroit, God of War, Life is Strange 2. Spider-Man, and then Red Dead Redemption 2. Which one had the best?
Why is Spider-Man on that list?
Yeah, that one was pretty straightforward. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but yeah, it was pretty straightforward. There was no real plot twist or nothing like that.
Let's just give it God of War and call it.
Yeah, it's got to go to God of War. That ending was fire. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Let's see. Best game direction: A Way Out, Detroit, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead. Actually, after playing A Way Out, I would give game direction to it.
I like The Way Out.
It was good.
Oh yeah, it was good.
I gotta check that game out.
I had a lot of fun. It's a great stream game.
Like it's a great stream. Like all the gameplay mechanics, they could have been a little bit better. They were a little bit clunky, but in terms of just narrative and like they said game direction, it was really good. I thought I was surprised by that.
It was also really nice to see two white dudes in jail. That was great.
Yeah. I mean, the game takes place in the 70s, so that was before mass incarceration, so it made sense. Let's see. Best ongoing game. Destiny, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and then Rainbow. I'm giving it to Rainbow.
Why is Overwatch on that list?
Because it's an ongoing game.
Still ongoing.
It is live service.
It has had a horrible live service.
Hey, they just announced Ash, okay? Have you seen?
I don't care.
She has like a shotgun thing going, okay?
3 champions a year, bro. When Paladins can release 6 of them in a year, I don't want to.
Nobody plays that.
I don't know, man. I mean, Rainbow Six is really good. I think
Paladins has 2 black women. Okay, Khalif.
Dude, that's what I've heard.
How many does Overwatch have? None.
Negative.
Oh my god.
None.
Let's not do this, okay?
I may have to give it to Fortnite, man.
Obviously, Paladins is a vastly superior game. Yeah, you saw the
I've seen the Twitter with people are happy about them getting the black in it.
She has dreadlocks, so this is a good game.
I was like, what? Okay.
Let me install this game real quick.
I will say that I will give many people give No Man's Sky shit. I will give them props for credit. Continue to keep going and making that game better.
At least trying.
At least they tried.
They revamped.
I mean, I give it to them. They're trying. That doesn't mean they deserve a reward. Rainbow is killing.
No, they're not getting this.
Yeah, Rainbow should get that.
Rainbow should not get that, bro. The game is busted. No, did you play the last season?
Yeah.
That's why the last season they broke matchmaking for 2 weeks. 2 weeks we could not match with people.
So because they had 2 bad weeks,
and Maverick is broken.
I mean that happens. That happens.
Broken.
That happens to every operator, and then they balance it out, bro.
Seasons of that thing were trash.
This is best ongoing game, okay? That's what comes with an ongoing game, baby.
No, it was not that good.
All right, well, fuck it. Give it to Fortnite. Give it to Fortnite.
In comparison, give it to Fortnite just because. That was one of those to shut your ass up. We're gonna give this shit to Fortnite.
Yeah, shut your ass up. Give it to Fortnite.
Fortnite wins everything. Goddamn it.
Fortnite wins.
And then let's see. Game of the year. You got Odyssey. I don't even know how do you pronounce this? Celeste. I don't even know what that is.
It's a platform game.
Ooh.
You might like it actually. You like it.
Pretty good. Okay.
Really good.
God of War, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and then Red Dead. It's between God of War and Odyssey for me, but keep in mind I haven't played Red Dead, so my opinion could change. What about
Red Dead is the winner.
Okay.
Even though it doesn't deserve it, because honestly, God of War is better.
God of War on this one too.
God of War.
Okay. God of War is killing it this year.
If they give it to Red Dead, it's a sham.
If they give it to Monster Hunter, I'm throwing shit at the TV.
Yo, if they give it to Monster Hunter, I will shut off the stream so
especially
quick.
after that PC port. They made us wait a whole year to get the console version on PC. They didn't even do shit to it.
I'm really confused why people like that game, but that's whatever.
It's one of those. It's like Dark Souls. It's one of those games people just like to torture themselves with.
Did you just say Dark Souls? Excuse me, sir. Are you a journalist?
Yes. I didn't say it was hard like Dark Souls. I was just saying they like to torture.
You put journalist on a resume, huh?
You gotta actually hunt the monsters, lay down meat and traps and shit. I was like, I don't want to do this. I just want to beat a motherfucker's ass, bro. I don't want to do this shit. But Yeah, it is what it is. So it'll be interesting. What is the Game Awards? December what?
You know we're gonna be slandering it on live stream.
Oh, December 6th.
December 6th.
Yeah, so look out for that live stream. We'll be slandering Jeff Keighley as usual.
It should be slander that girl from Warframe and in the chat was like, no, leave her alone.
Yeah, we love Warframe. We love
Rebecca
Warframe.
alone. We love her.
I like Mika Kelly, bro. She cool. She cool people.
True. So it'll be interesting what happens December 6th. That's all I got on my show notes. Does anybody else have anything to add to the conversation before we wrap this one up?
I think we are good.
All right. Well, you are our guest for episode 76, so you got the show floor, Khalief. What is your closing statement for episode 76? Go.
First of all, I want Samuel Jackson again to be the voice of Pikachu. I think that's a reasonable thing to ask for. It would be a great Christmas present and Kwanzaa present for everybody out there who celebrates. Second, thank you all for having me. I really love all the stuff that y'all been doing over the years, and it's been dope to be able to hang out and chop it up with y'all today. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, and check out the SpawnOnMe podcast. That is his podcast. When do y'all do it?
We do our live stream on Twitch every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. PST. That's twitch.tv/SpawnOnMe. Again, you can check out all our stuff on all the podcast services. And yeah, we're trying to do some fun stuff for 2019. Revamp the show a little bit, get things popping again. And hopefully all the GI folks will roll through and say what's up.
All right, there you have it. All right, Jay, you got the floor. What's your closing statement for episode 76? Go.
And I appreciate everybody for coming through. Huge shout out to Ethos for showing up.
Hey, every once in a while,
Don't commend him for doing his job.
I know, right? We're going to replace him. He's not going to be on the next episode, people. And then huge shout out to Khalief as well, because we haven't had a special guest in a while. So we appreciate you for
someone who's actually important
for responding. Yeah, I know, right? We appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming through, man.
Tell your boy Danny we trying to make him pull up, bro.
Danny,
no, I got him.
I got him. I'm gonna hit him up. I got DM because he followed me, so we gonna chop it up.
It's my Gamer Talk radio.
Yeah.
Bet. Was you finished, Jay, or not?
No, I'm finished.
All right, Ethos, you got the floor. We're closing statement for episode 76. Go.
Yeah, make sure you put in the comments below how much you think I contributed to this podcast this time. I feel like I definitely put 80. You said 85? I think I put in the 85%. So make sure if you did, if you think I did, put in the comments below. I'm always willing to take y'all feedback. And shout outs to Khalief. Thanks for stopping by, bro. It's always great talking with you. And it was my birthday. So for any of y'all again who forgot to give me some money for my birthday, you can always send it to my Twitch, or you can sub to me on Twitch. It's all good.
Yeah, you turned a quarter century old, which is 25 for all the slow people listening.
It's weird.
I was gonna say, how you feel? You feel wiser now?
I feel weird, bro. It's like there's not ever since after I hit 22, I got hit with that does it really matter? What do I look forward to now? And there's nothing really. It's
just life, just life lessons
just
at this
life
point.
Shit, I'm hitting that part.
You feel so old.
Yeah, I'm starting to hit that midlife crisis a little bit. I just thought about it. I was like,
quarter life crisis, bro.
Oh no, I did celebrate because I think I'm past the age of being conscripted by Trump to go to the war. I don't think I can get drafted now because
No. It's 27, bro. I was.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, 27 is the cutoff age.
You thought
I got asthma. I'm fine.
And I remember reading they was considering upping the age since they not hitting quotas, bro. So don't be surprised if they bump that bitch to 30, bro.
No, bro. Hell no.
Fuck that, bro. You good though, Khalief.
You're gonna look at the KDA in black.
They were like,
we gotta get him.
Yo, he's got a 4 KD. Pick him up.
Yeah. Be like, hey man, we see you a really good sniper in Battlefield 5. You should be a sniper in the military. What? Here's a gun, sir. I'll see you in Korea. What?
And I want to end this show by thanking our two sponsors for today, which was Mint Mobile and Robinhood. Be sure to check out those deals that we mentioned earlier in the show. And also, if you're a broke boy or a broke girl out there and you're working on a budget there, you're looking for a cool game to play, what's the name? And I'm not being paid by them, but what was it? Fucking Sunset Overdrive came out on PC just randomly the other day, and it's only $20, and that's a really fun platformer. So check that
really
out.
Matters. Persona 5 is $20 on PSN. I repeat, Persona 5 is $20.
Don't play that game if you want a social life.
Buy that game.
They talk too much in that shit, bro.
It has some of the best art direction of all time.
I fell asleep.
Did you
buy Nier? That's beyond the question. Buy Nier Automata. I'm not going to say it again. If you haven't played Nier by now, you should play it. It's one of the best games of all time. Thank you.
I disagree.
You did beat it. I don't want to hear it.
Because a shitty map system, bro. I'm not fun to torture myself, bro. I play games. I play working games like NBA 2K.
Let's play. Yeah, you play trash games. Let me know, how many times did you rage quit yesterday? Did you say you was retired?
Because my teammates suck. I don't want to talk about it, bro. Anyways, this has been Gaming Illuminati episode 76. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Know that the show, you can take it on the go. We got it on iTunes, Spotify, and all other major podcast outlets. We have an app. Download that. It's available on iOS and Android. Keep in mind that we spell Illuminati with the word as in naughty or nice. And other than that, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right, bye. This is Blackout.
Get it? Because we're all black.
I'm going to end it right there.